This week on Christian World News.
We were servants of the devil. But then we heard Christ died for our sins, and that changed our lives.
Watch miracles unfold deep in the heart of the jungle as our George Thomas heads into the pygmy colonies of Uganda. Plus, revivals in America see the evangelistic outreach that grew so big they had to move it outdoors. And meet a woman who has been shining her light in the darkest parts of Rio de Janeiro for nearly 30 years. Welcome to Christian World News. I'm Jessica Chaco. Today we're documenting where God's on the move with stories of revival. And we begin with the African continent. For centuries, a remote tribe called the Batwa Pygmies lived in caves and trees while hunting in the jungle. About 25 years ago, the Ugandan government forced them out of the forests, leaving them homeless and destitute. Now, one Christian ministry is helping them rebuild their lives. George Thomas has that remarkable story from southwestern Uganda.
You're about to see images never captured on camera. Until now. From deep in the lush green jungles of Africa comes the story of one of this continent's oldest living tribes.
We used to live like animals in the jungle.
Yovanis Nyirkayanje is a Batwa pygmy. For centuries, her people were rainforest dwellers.
We smoked, we drank, we performed witchcraft. We were devil worshippers.
Dr. Scott Kellerman, an American physician, is studying the Batwa people.
They're very diminutive. They're only 4.5 feet in height. They typically hunted with poison tip arrows or nets, collect fruit from the trees or roots from the ground.
Their life revolved around the Biwindi forest of southwestern Uganda.
And actually, they were pre-Stone Age. They had no stone implements. So that's the reason very few records are found of the Batwa.
The Batwa were known as the keepers of the forest, but that all dramatically changed back in 1992 when the government here in the Ugandan capital city of Kampala decided to turn their habitat into a national park and a World Heritage Site for endangered mountain gorillas.
There are about 750 mountain gorillas in the world, and 350 live within the Biwindi forest.
So the result was it was made a World Heritage Site, and the Batwa were evicted from the forest.
After centuries of living in caves and trees, the Batwa became conservation refugees. With no title to land, no food, no clothing, no shelter, thousands of them walked out of the jungle to a world that turned against them.
The people could not even give them what to do because they thought maybe these Batwa, the pygmies, are like animals.
Tugumi Gerald and his wife Barbara decided to help some of the Batwa. They moved from their home in Uganda's capital to the small village of Kisoro on the edge of the equatorial jungle to begin a ministry among the pygmies.
I began by preaching the message of hope to the hopeless.
Hundreds of Batwa pygmies heard about Jesus for the very first time. Yovanis Nyirkayanje was one of Gerald's first converts.
It was the first time anyone had ever told us about Jesus. We were servants of the devil. But then we heard Christ died for our sins, and that changed our lives.
I baptize you
On this day,
in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
37 responded to the gospel message and got baptized in a river. Gerald says miracles are also happening among the Batwa. People diagnosed with HIV/AIDS are getting healed. A pygmy girl on the verge of death given new life.
They brought the child here. She was dead almost. They started praying for her. They prayed. Actually, they prayed for 5 hours. I was around. I couldn't believe. I was there myself. The child got healed.
It all led to this. The first ever Batwa Pygmy church in the region.
At times we get up to 1,000 pygmies who come to attend the church. Hello.
They also run a school for pygmy children. And parents, once animal hunters, are learning to be farmers. But the needs here are enormous.
If you can imagine poverty, which exists everywhere in the world, yet these are the poorest of the poor.
After making several trips out here, Tino Kahush, a documentary producer and Region University graduate, decided to get involved. He got a handful of churches in Sweden to partner with Batwa Christians.
What I like about this ministry, it's run by the Batwa Pygmies themselves. They have formed a board, they are caring for their own people, and we just want to empower them and give them some resources to stand on their feet.
No one knows for sure, but it's estimated that there are still tens of thousands of Batwa who have yet to hear the name of Jesus Christ.
Just as Christ did for me, I believe his message of salvation is going to change the lives of my tribe.
In the meantime, Gerald welcomes Christians from around the world to join him in the adventure of reaching one of the most unreached people groups in the world.
We need people to stand with us in prayers so that God may use us more to reach as many pygmies as possible.
George Thomas, CBN News, Uganda.
You can spread the good news of what God is doing around the world on your Facebook page. Simply find the story on cbnnews.com and share it with your family and friends. Coming up, revival in West Virginia. We'll show you how God is moving in the southern part of the state.
Inside every child is a hero, a leader, a friend to others, someone who helps out, who does the right thing, who dreams of what they can be, but they still need our help.
What should I do? What should I say? How should I feel?
That's where Superbook comes in. It provides moral and spiritual truths through situations children can relate to, teaching God's Word to the children you love. Join the Superbook DVD Club and receive Superbook's newest episodes as they're available, plus 2 copies to share with others, all for your gift of only $25. Get Superbook today and watch the miracles happen.
Hello, I'm Terry Newsom. Did you know there are more than 148 million orphans in the world today? 148 million. But it was 3 little girls that taught me about the plight of orphans. 8 years ago, my husband and I spent nearly a month immersed in the daily activities of a Ukrainian orphanage as we waited to adopt 3 sisters. I saw firsthand the utter loneliness, the pain of rejection, and the overwhelming desire to be loved. That experience changed me forever. And out of it grew a ministry from my heart called Orphans Promise. Today, we're helping orphans and vulnerable children in more than 50 countries worldwide. Thousands of children are now in safe homes. They're being educated, and they're learning life skills. I'm asking you to join with me and become family to these children. Will you call the number on your screen right now? Because every child deserves a chance to be happy.
Welcome back to Christian World News. Here in the U.S., revival is stirring in communities across the country. One of those places is southern West Virginia, where a spiritual awakening that started in a local church ended up touching the entire region. Wendy Griffith traveled back to her hometown of Williamson, West Virginia, to bring us this inspirational story.
There's a new sound coming forth from the hills of southern West Virginia, a sound many prophets have foretold, but haven't heard until now. For the past 3 weeks, the large sports complex in the small coal mining town of Williamson, West Virginia, has been filled to the rafters with people crying out for God. It all started when Tennessee evangelist Matt Hartley visited a local church for what was supposed to be a 3-day revival service, but it just kept going.
This is not man-made, charismatic, hyper-spiritual. This is the presence of God that is overwhelming us, that is being released upon hungry people that are tired of just stagnant Christianity and safe church. They want Jesus more than anything else, and that's why they're here.
Hartley also spoke at the local high school, where revival seemed to break out among the students.
400 to 450 students got saved at Mingo Central through Matt Hartley coming in and speaking at a voluntary prayer club meeting. It has just went from school to school, from youth group to youth group. Denominational barriers have just been cast down, and we've just had a great spirit of unity.
In the 1980s, this field house is where I helped cheer on the Williamson Wolfpack basketball team to victory. Great memories. But today, it's the only place big enough to hold what many say is the greatest spiritual awakening in southern West Virginia history.
We could not have done any of this if we wanted to. We've had so many different revival services, so many, special services, and nothing like this. This is true awakening.
Endicott says prayer plus desperation has paved the way for this spiritual breakthrough, especially among the young people.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I've never seen something like this happen where just the young people get on fire, and it's really cool to come to church, and it's really cool to worship God, and nobody's judging you or saying anything about it because they're all with you. We're starting to have prayer circles at school before school, and we're reading and having Bible studies at school.
Others, like Erica Priest of Lenore, are seeing God answer very specific prayers.
My husband just got saved this morning, and I've been praying for him for months, and he'll be baptized this Sunday.
He got saved this morning, on a Monday morning?
It's on a Monday morning at work with other men that are Christians that he works with.
Hartley believes the sound of revival, now being heard in these West Virginia mountains, has the potential to spread around the world.
I believe God has preserved this state for the end-time awakening that's coming to America. I believe that this is the beginning of where it happens, and it's going to spread as a wildfire throughout the nations of this world, that Jesus is going to be exalted, and the more Jesus is exalted, the more the river of God is going to flow, and we have not seen anything yet to what God is releasing.
Wendy Griffith, CBN News, Mingo County, West Virginia.
Revival is breaking out in other parts of the U.S. This summer, a series of church services in Burlington, North Carolina, turned into a summer-long tent revival. Back in June, our Mark Martin paid a visit to Burlington to see what was happening under the big top.
In a state facing attack, God is on the move. The epicenter is Burlington, North Carolina, where growing crowds now meet under this tent. The tent director of the Burlington Revival says they're averaging around 2,500 to 3,000 people each night. Earlier this month, they held a youth night, and more than 5,000 people showed up. Now entering its 8th week, the revival began on Mother's Day at New Hope Baptist Church. The church began a 1-week revival, and as it neared the end, Pastor Randy Hobbs and evangelist C.T. Townsend sensed that God wanted to do more.
Brother Randy got up and said, "I don't believe God's done." And I said, "I don't either."
It's just amazing to be a part of this. This is something we've been praying for in our church for several years. We've been meeting over 15 years, praying for revival to touch us locally and nationally. And now we're seeing what we've been praying about. And to see how that God has just orchestrated this and how that God has brought it together.
The revival outgrew this sanctuary and eventually moved to this tent. Local businessman Don Cox allowed the tent to be put up on his property.
It's been absolutely amazing. The last time I remember anything remotely similar to this happening was in August of 1951 when I went to a tent meeting in Greensboro and a young evangelist by the name of Billy Graham was speaking.
In my wildest imaginations, I would have never thought that God would have done what He's done. And it's just, every night I lay my head on my pillow and just stand amazed at what God's doing.
People from around the country are attending, and Townsend says more than 400 people have accepted Jesus Christ, including businessman D.R. Harrison.
I haven't been in church in over 11 years until 5.5 weeks ago. And every Sunday and Wednesday, my daughter would go down to the altar and pray for Daddy and Mama to get saved. God answered that little girl's prayer. I believe it with all my heart.
Ashley Cottle saw her 6-year-old daughter accept Christ during a service.
We talked about it a little bit, and I said, do you think that Jesus is talking to you about something? And she said, I want to be saved. I'm grateful and I'm thankful that my children get to see this, because I think that they'll know, they'll always know that God is real.
A God who's real and a God who saves. Mark Martin, CBN News, Burlington, North Carolina.
Evangelist C.T. Townsend has already announced that the Burlington Revival will resume on May 1st, 2017, and we'll be there to tell you all about it. Well, coming up, helping the least of these. See how this missionary is bringing help and hope to the people of Rio de Janeiro.
In the beginning was the Word.
From CBN, The Gospel of John. Read by Pat Robertson.
For God so loved the world that He gave His one and only Son.
Let the spoken word of God transform your mind and increase your faith. Receive the power of God's life-giving word. The Gospel of John. Read by Pat Robertson. Available now.
Hello, I'm Terry Newsom. Did you know there are more than 148 million orphans in the world today? 148 million. But it was 3 little girls that taught me about the plight of orphans. 8 years ago, my husband and I spent nearly a month immersed in the daily activities of a Ukrainian orphanage as we waited to adopt 3 sisters. I saw firsthand the utter loneliness, the pain of rejection, and the overwhelming desire to be loved. That experience changed me forever. And out of it grew a ministry from my heart called Orphans Promise. Today, we're helping orphans and vulnerable children in more than 50 countries worldwide. Thousands of children are now in safe homes. They're being educated, and they're learning life skills. I'm asking you to join with me and become family to these children. Will you call the number on your screen right now? Because every child deserves a chance to be happy.
When you give, smiles grow bigger. When you care, homes are happier. When you comfort, the hurt goes away. When we all come together to love, miracles happen.
The darkest places on earth are the ones most in need of light. That's exactly why one missionary has devoted her life to bringing hope to the children of the slums in Rio de Janeiro. Gary Lane reports on how she's changing lives for Christ in one drug and crime-infested neighborhood.
Missionary Edmia Williams walks the streets of Santa Marta favela in Rio de Janeiro, receiving hugs and affection. But at first it was not so. She arrived 26 years ago, when this was Rio's most violent place, a neighborhood known as a center of witchcraft. The police did not dare enter here. In places like this, in front of the White Cross, human sacrifices were made. But Edmia felt something special for the favela's children.
The main problem here is that the majority of the mothers are single mothers, because most of them, the husband is in prison, and then this kid will be free in the favela, in the hands of everybody. And they begin looking to the bandits as the heroes.
That's how she founded the House of Mary and Martha, a project for child evangelism that offers physical, material, and spiritual support. CBN Latin America producer Javier Bolaños visited the slum where Williams serves.
Under the arms of the Christ the Redeemer statue here in Rio de Janeiro, the children in the Santa Marta favela struggle to survive. But at the feet of Jesus Christ, Missionary Edmeya Williams and her team work hard to bring hope for these children.
Wallace Pereira came to the house of Mary and Martha when he was a boy. Years later, after attending university, he came back, now as a teacher. Today, his daughter studies here.
I started coming to House of Mary and Martha when I was 4 years old. Then I continued my education outside the favela, but I kept contact with Edmeya. 2 years ago, she called me, and I came back as a teacher.
Edmeya's work has the financial support of several churches and ministries in Brazil. Victory in Christ Church sends her an offering every month.
She is a woman that was carved for this job. God calls people with a vocation. Edmeya's work is highly respected here. Her work is admirable, so we help her because she is a serious woman who has a story, and that is very important to me.
The missionary appreciates help, but she's sure that God provides supernaturally, and that's why her pantry is always full. Still, she has a special request.
My need, first of everything, is prayer, because I work under threat and in danger all the time, because I never know who is going to. I know that I have a adversary that wants to stop me, and I feel this every time, and I need prayer because I know that everything is possible in my life because there are people praying for me.
Gary Lane, CBN News.
Thank you, Gary. And there is power in prayer. It's been a remarkable year, just unprecedented numbers of revivals all over the U.S., all over the world, and we'll have more amazing stories, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Pat Robertson. I've just finished recording one of the most beloved books in all the Bible, the Gospel according to John. I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though they die. My hope is that you will use this recording to allow the Word of God to abide in you. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. Listen to it again and again and speak the words along with me. Let these great passages fill your heart as the Word of God transforms your mind and builds your faith.
Receive the power of God's life-giving Word, the Gospel of John, read by Pat Robertson, available now.
May God richly bless you as you meditate on Jesus.
Life. It's meant to be lived fully. Jesus said it. I came to give you life, life to the fullest. Life in your family, life in your finances, life in your body, mind, and spirit, life in your everyday. At CBN.com, we're taking what Jesus said seriously. We're here to help you discover life. Life. Live it fully. CBN.com.
Kids. We want them to grow up knowing God's Word. But in today's busy world, sometimes we could use some help. The free Superbook Kids Bible app has fun stuff your kids will love. They'll have a blast learning the Bible, playing great games, watching cool videos,
Follow me.
discovering heroes in the Bible. They'll have fun while they learn God's Word. The Superbook Kids Bible app, available on iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Finally, this week, America's Pacific Northwest is often called the None Zone because most people living there claim no religious affiliation. But one church may have found the secret to reaching the unreachable. As Abigail Robertson shows us, their success started when they went back to the Bible.
7 years ago, the future looked pretty bleak for Westminster Community Church, a 92-year-old congregation located in Seattle.
We started to decline at a pretty crazy rate. In fact, I published that our going out of business date was going to be November of 2011 if we didn't do something different.
The more the city grew, the more its people changed.
90% of Seattle are very secularized in their worldview.
Members of Westminster realized they had to roll with these changes in order to reach these people.
So if we're hoping to stay in business here, we need to know how to take seculars to heaven in a way that they would gladly go.
After a number of failed attempts, church leaders decided on a tactic from biblical times.
The church for the first 300 years, it really was a dinner church. And once we started to own that, we thought, well, we've tried everything else and failed miserably. Let's go try this.
Lead pastor Verlin Fosner says it only took about 6 weeks for their community dinners to make a difference.
They were just flooding at us. So they just start grabbing a hold of their friends and say, hey, this is the family dinner table for this neighborhood, and we've all wanted to be neighbors. Well, now we've got a spot to have a family dinner, and this church provides it, and they talk about Jesus, and it's actually kind of interesting, and it's not real religious, but it's very inspiring to us.
Each night of the week, Community Dinners opens their doors somewhere in Seattle and invites people to share a meal together while hearing the good news of God's love.
The one thing that I hear consistently is the peace in the room. People come in and they just go, there's a peace here, I feel peaceful.
Brendan Perko literally helped spread this gospel community by starting the Pike Market location 3 years ago. He sees the dinner table as a very effective tool for discipleship.
A lady that's been with us maybe for about 2 months, 2.5 months, she always says, well, I'm not Christian, I'm actually Buddhist, and I don't know about all this, but I do know when I come here I feel uplifted, I feel encouraged, and I feel loved.
Brendan made one of his first connections with Tulela, a man he invited in off the street.
Some days I'll come in here and I don't even feel like being here, and Brandon would guide me through it, pray with me. That's why I keep coming here, because I know it helps. It helps out. So the Lord, God guides me back to these people. Because if I'm not doing this, I'm out there doing other stuff that's not good. These people changed my life.
In a city not known for faith, community dinner churches could help change that perception. 20 new locations are planned, one for each walking village around Seattle.
We're glad you're here. Okay. And the idea is picking up steam. Community Dinners has garnered national attention from pastors around the country, and it has even proven to be a financially sustainable church model.
$1,600 a month, and you can open up a dinner church that'll take care of 150 people a week. And so so money is really not much of an issue when it's that inexpensive.
And now they offer affordable housing and job assistance as part of their service.
Eat together, include the poor, include the stranger, and remember me, talk about me. And what better discipleship is there than when you're sitting at a table talking about Christ every week?
Verlin and his team have definitely answered Jesus' call to feed my sheep, proving that it only takes a little to reach a great amount of people. Reporting from Seattle, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Thanks for joining us this week, and until next week, goodbye and God bless you.